But let's begin this morning with what is going on in shares of GameStop and other heavily shorted names. And we can see not great. GameStop shares off some 44%. And I think starting maybe to form the outlines of an interesting broad market impact on GameStop. And, Julie, I'm not sure exactly what it means, but this is now the fifth day in a row that we are looking at GameStop shares going one way, the broader market going another way. Obviously, the sell-off this morning quite pronounced in shares of GameStop, but we saw this yesterday. Stock was down about 25%, and we saw the markets rally. Once again, the broad markets look like they're in good shape this morning as the GameStop trade kind of starts to unwind a bit, perhaps.
Look at that. You can now use GameStop as a negative correlation to the market and make your trading decisions accordingly. As we wondered yesterday when this would sort of be coming to a close, one of the things that I've been bringing up is, well, part of it just be people getting bored with the thing and getting out for that reason. And you wonder if there's a little bit of exhaustion or burning out of the enthusiasm over this trade. Part of that is reflected in the waning short interest also. S3 Partners, which has consistently been updating folks on the short interest in this stock, says it's now at 53%. It was at, 140% last month. So clearly, a lot of those shorts have been now burned out. And so, at a certain point, a fire burns itself out. What is the fuel that would keep this going up? It's not going to be the short squeeze at a certain point because you just have fewer shorts on GameStop. So, yesterday there was a lot of speculation about where will Redditors turn their attention next. There was talk about silver, although, interestingly, the moderators of the Wall Street Bets board on Reddit said that they really weren't seeing a lot of enthusiasm for silver on there. They seem to suggest that, that perhaps hedge funds were trying to drum up interest in silver. I haven't seen anything conclusive that says what was going on there. But as we know, we saw COMEX say that you're going to have to put up more margin in order to trade silver. So that's something that put a damper on that trade pretty quickly.
Well, as I would say back in high school, way back when, guys, this story is just played out. It's been played out really extensively, and I think you are seeing the burning out of this trade. But I will add this. If we have learned anything from the past 2 weeks of frenzied activity, this stock can very easily go back up another 100% or 200%. And I wouldn't be surprised if these Reddit traders could be thinking along the lines or trying to do that, send the stock down now and then send it back up very sharply and again go back out into the mainstream public and regain the focus of the country that they had just a couple days ago. Not that they don't have it now, but regain it and just show their continued power. I do want to add that we're also seeing some interesting activity in GoPro. GoPro shares a short, another not as well shorted as GameStop was at the start of all this frenzied activity, but about 14% of the outstanding shares are shorted. Stock was up 18% yesterday, indicating up close to 10% in the pre-market here. Again, it's another one of those consumery companies that really have been struggling for a long time, and that the retail investor could get behind, they understand the company, and the stock is shorted.
Yeah, and that silver point, Julie, is interesting because I saw there was some folks saying that, and I got some off the record data on this suggesting there was less than a quarter of the posts on Wall Street Bets yesterday were about silver. Wall Street Bet Mod came out on Twitter, said it was about 3%. There's some data out from RBC about how many people have been added to that subreddit, though, and so 3% of chatter on Wall Street Bets yesterday about silver would equate to about half of a full day's chatter just a couple of months ago. And clearly, half of a full day's chatter on Wall Street Bets a couple of months ago was enough to start getting people interested in some stocks. So I don't think we can and the Wall Street Bets sort of phenomenon clearly is not something that's controlled. This is kind of a freewheeling internet-based frenzy around a thing. I don't think there is any one person, maybe Roaring Kitty, but probably not even him, who is quote unquote in control of this. So it is odd to then have the community come out and say, we are definitely doing one thing or another, because I think this story is certainly kind of moved beyond the control of any one person. But it'll be interesting to see kind of how this thing opens. GameStop we're looking at here on the screen, because I will say that just eyeballing it, most of the content on Wall Street Bets yesterday was about GameStop, continues to be about GameStop. We're not selling. I'm never selling. Buy more, hold the line, et cetera, diamond hands. We all know kind of the slang at this point. And so what happens here, considering that anyone who was in for a fundamental reason at 15 is still more than pleased with their returns? When do those folks start to maybe think about getting some stuff off the table?